Good morning, college writing students. I'm here to explain the 2 assignments for week 8. I do want you to know that I'll work with everybody on Monday. Hopefully everybody's there to next Monday, 30th of March, to make sure that you know how to use Google Meet and stuff like that. But there's 2 assignments. This is the first assignment for next week, March 30th through April 3rd. Period 1 meets from 9 to 10:17 on Monday and Wednesday. So at that time, I will be at my computer or be available at my computer. Doesn't mean that you necessarily have to have your computer and be sitting at your computer at that time, but know that I will be. So if there are questions, or if you just want to use that time to make sure you're on track with this class, that is when I am scheduled to meet with period 1 the rest of this quarter. Anyway, your first assignment is Peter and the Wolf video assignment. We're talking about literary analysis. So this link will bring you to the YouTube video, and what you are to do is to watch the video. You'll probably want to watch it more than once. It's kind of cute, but what I've done is place you into 3 groups. So we're going to look at this movie, which was produced by Disney and narrated by David Bowie, in 3 different ways. How the music was beneficial, how the characters were beneficial, and how the scenery was beneficial. So this is just an introductory lesson for literary analysis that's a little bit more fun than just a straight out literary analysis. So in your groups, I want you to figure out a time that you all can meet. I will not be present when you guys meet and discuss the movie. These people will talk about how the music affected the story, and how the music created a tone, and how the music created a message, how it was used. Try to go beyond the obvious, because I can see the obvious. A literary analysis does not just talk about the obvious things. Sometimes it includes the obvious things. But everything that an author does when writing a story is purposeful. So think about things that were done on purpose, and maybe what went on behind the scenes, what thought processes occurred for that event to be in the story. The second group is going to look at the different characters. There are a couple of people, and there's animals. So all of those are characters. And again, look at their roles and how the characters were used, movement, color, and different things to make the story do what it did. And then this final group will look at the scenery, the background stuff, which also includes color and nature and different sounds that weren't music, perhaps. Anything that you can think of in the scenery, the largeness, the smallness, the emotion, M-O-T-I-O-N, that occurred in the scenery that created the feel for the story to be effective. Don't overthink it, but do think about what's happening behind the scenes. So after you have watched the video, you should meet. And then this is a link to the group discussion document that you will be handing in to me or sharing with me. So please make a copy. So you'll go in and you'll go to file and make your own copy, and then you will fill that out. I'm actually going to give you editing rights. No, I won't need to. But make sure when you make your copy that you open up sharing rights to me so that I can put some comments over on the side. Okay, could you do that? Thank you very much. I don't need to be in that twice. So that's the second one. Oopsie. So what you're going to do when you're in your groups is figure out a way to make a presentation for me. You can use a slideshow. You also could use any other audio or video tool or app that you want to, that you will share with me, but make sure that you have like a cardboard piece or something that says your group names and what group you're in, and that you have a large piece of paper or a screen that says what your theme from the story is. So for example, The music group might say that their theme is that they gathered a theme from the story and the music was used to show that theme in this way. The character group would say this is the theme of the story and the characters were used to portray this theme here and here and here and here and here. And same with the scenery. We have a theme and this is a theme to the story and the scenery was used to support that here and here and here and here. I don't care how you guys put it together, but by Friday, and I'll create an assignment with this on it. I haven't posted that yet because I can't get on to Schoology right now. This assignment will be there. All right. So I'm going to talk about assignment number 2 for this week, which is also going to be an assignment linked on Schoology. So you're going to do 2 things for me. You're going to work in your groups on Peter and the Wolf, and I recommend doing that first. And then in your off time, you're going to read this story called The Ugly Tourist, and I have it right here. It's very short. It's a short story. Like that's as long as it is. It's by Jamaica Kincaid, very famous short story, and it's actually an interesting short story, but you're going to read it. And on that same document, I should link that there, you'll share at the end, you're going to write down a message that the story speaks to you, to readers in general. You're going to consider what the author did or attempted to do to bring ideas to life. So you're going to do what I call claim, quote, and comment for this literary analysis. So these are the steps that you should follow to get to that claim, quote, comment. First, like I said, scribble down any ideas you have. Then I would go through and read the story again. It's super short, not a problem. Try to reaffirm any ideas that you had about, oh, the author kind of repeats this, or this helped the story. There was foreshadowing. The author asked a lot of questions in the story so that the reader could answer them. Metaphors were used, alliteration was used, paragraphs were long or short, sentences were short, sentences were long, there was a lot of description, there was a lot of dialogue. You can pick out any technical aspects that you see and use it in a literary analysis. So read through this, but understand that writers see their work as art, and a literary analysis seeks to uncover what the author did and what they used to make their artwork stand out. Writers want to be remembered, so they're looking for ways to be creative and get their meaning across. That's what a literary analysis is looking for. The author, behind the scenes, was having these thoughts, and so they did this in their story to make the meaning really work, so I could feel something about the story. A literary analysis is in no way a plot synopsis. I am familiar with this story and many others. I may not be familiar with the book that you have read. So when next week, when you do your final literary analysis, and it's on a book that you read perhaps, I might not have read that book. So then you really have to show me how the author did this or this to create this feeling in the story. So this assignment this week is very short. It could be 2 paragraphs, it could be 3 paragraphs, it could be 4 paragraphs, but keep it short. Keep it to a page, page and a half, please. So after reading this story and jotting down some ideas of what the author did, and they're actually pretty obvious in that story, some of the things, I want you to write an analysis that exposes your findings. You're going to have 2 parts to this analysis. You're going to first talk about the technical aspects. These are all technical aspects that the author used. Alliteration, short sentences, capital letters whenever she meant something, hyphens, and it did this, okay? And then you're going to have a personal paragraph at the end. So that's why I said it could be 3 paragraphs. Your technical aspects could be a couple, personal 1, whatever you want. If you want me to be prescriptive in assigning that, I would say 2 paragraphs for the technical aspects, 1 on how those things that the author did affected you as a person or personally or whatever. You must include page numbers and examples from the text when making a claim. So if there aren't page numbers, then just say on the 2nd page or in the 3rd or 5th paragraph or something, or you could say in the middle of the story, the author said this, and then you comment on it. Okay, so you have to make a claim. The author was very clever in provoking fear. For example, on the 3rd page, she did this, blah, 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 and then you have some comment on it. So just try to get in the habit. Make a claim, give an example or a quote, and then comment on it. If you could submit the rough draft to me by the due date, which probably will be Wednesday of next week, because that's when we meet, right? Or before then would be great, because then I could get it back to you. It'll be due on Friday, so just know that we'll meet Monday and Wednesday. So have that in, but I'll make an assignment. I also really need you to, anything that you send me online, have a 4-line heading with the assignments clearly labeled and your name on it. All right. So I'll share that back with you. If you have any questions, be sure and email me as soon as possible. And I thank you for your time today.